starting in 3, 2, 1. Many fan favorite series like Harry Potter are successfully adapted into live action, others into animated series, and so on. This begs the question whether film adaptations are better than the original work itself. Greeting honorable adjudicators, observers, and members of the opposing team. My name is Naomi, and as the first speaker of the proposition team, we stand proudly in favor of the motion that we believe that film adaptations are better than original novels. For the purpose of this debate, I will be defining the term film adaptation as a visual medium adapted from original books/novels. And the term better than is bringing more benefits to the audiences and the author. Onto our status quo. Many novels/books are actively and effectively being adapted into visual mediums that can reach a wider audience and also transcend more words into emotions. But this started the debate by angry novel fans saying that this takes away depth and subplots and creates the inability to accurately stage meticulous scenes. But with the rise of technological advancements, we believe film adaptations are ultimately better than original novels. Our stakeholders are the audience, both people who read and didn't read the original work, and the author, the person who wrote the original work and wants to spread and share their work. Moving on to my point that film adaptations bring in a wider audience/readers. Film adaptations are often easy to watch and widely advertised, and being widely popular, they bring in both audience and attract readers to the original novel itself. And films are often dubbed, subtitled, and flexibly translated in a very versatile way in many languages, helping people suffering from literacy and those who only knows one language, which is essentially 40% of the global population, and helps film adaptation are more engaging and fun to watch. This is also a great way to learn another language, which essentially helps both literacy and learning how to learn a new language in such a creative way. And how this brings in more audience is that since life is getting more hectic, people lack time to just sit down and read a book for several hours. Because, for example, a Harry Potter book for average is around 200 pages, and a quick reader reads around 50 to 60 pages per hour, which per average, they will read that book in 5 hours. But the film covers it all and still be able to instill the emotion, the plot, the meaning to the audience, which my second speaker will elaborate on in just 2 hours maximum. Therefore, film adaptations bring in more money, attention from the general consumer to both the book and author with the film itself, and also attracts potentially illiterate people with only knowledge of one language that is in English, and also busier people that want to relax, that want to sit down, but doesn't want to waste too much time and even several hours just to read a book, which can be covered in a film adaptation. And on this basis and reason, we're proud to propose.
Starting in 3, 2, 1. Hello everyone, I'm the speaker. I'm speaker one from the opposing team, and I agree with the other team's definition of movie adaptation. While nowadays technology has been very much, it's better than the past, but a lot of the scenes still requires a lot of technical difficulties, and sometimes with heavy CGI, it just doesn't feel as real as the book anymore. Because since the book can really, and if the writer is good, the book can really deep dive down into the magical world of that story, the plot, and make the readers feel immersed into that story itself, making them feel like they're living it as well. Secondly, most books have a character narrator of themselves. The books narrates their thoughts, their thinking, how they were feeling, and how anxious they were feeling inside, how happy they were. Most movies have amazing actors and actresses, but they can't portray as well as the books because the book still makes us know exactly what the characters are thinking about. Thirdly, every writer has their own style. Their style is very different from others, and sometimes the author style itself is incorporated into the book. And a lot of movies can't really capture that wittiness, funny, hilariousness of the author in films, since it's just the films will just show about how the book goes on, but not really the author personality of the book itself. And the nostalgia of the author writing it itself, and we knowing the original books and copies of the writers, how they write power, and and how maybe crazy that the plot they were thinking is very much emotional, rather than just watching a film with just a story being told and no characters of the person who created that story itself. So that is right now the end of my speech.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the second speaker of the proposition team, and my speech will start in 3, 2, 1. Firstly, elaborating some of our rebuttals to the opponent team. They said that while books it seems quite difficult to illustrate the same feelings and own personality of the character in the books, we don't agree with this. First, why? Because based on the music and pictures and scenes, the characteristic personality of the character are hidden in the scene, and when you make the film, author also involved in the film production, and therefore style still stay there. Unlike the opponent team that it disappeared. And that's all I think what the opponent said about. Moving to our cases, firstly, why books they allow readers to imagine emotions, but films force audiences to do so because they remove limitations of imagination, control how emotions are experienced, amplified through music, actions, and therefore book tells us the story, but film make the story real. Film eliminate interpretation, making emotion innocent.
So you said that the movies makes us feel a certain emotion, but one of the best part about the book is they allow readers to feel a lot of ways. So how is this makes the film better than the book?
Well, my third speaker will answer your POI. Books rely on descriptions, and readers must picture emotions themselves, which means that the impact will vary. Take example, a line, his voice broke as he whispered her name. It depends entirely on the reader on how they envision that sentence, and situations can happen like this. A person can imagine vividly, but the other can just skip through it without any effect, which means that book is inconsistent in in delivering emotions, while films they leave no room for interpretation. And also, films ensure that every viewer experiences the same emotional intensity, which can be proved by, I take the example of the story, The Fault in Our Stars. August's death is narrated through Hazel's perspective, and the emotional impacts depend on the readers. But in the film, when the trembling voice or raw gifts, they are illustrated through senses, we are not told about it, but we undeniably felt it. Also, secondly, reading is a self-paced activity. Readers can skim, pause, or walk away whenever they want, and that leads to weakening the emotional impact. Why? Because the pacing in film, it is controlled by the director, and films trap the audiences in the moment. Example, for the book Green Mile, the exclusion of John Coffey, it is deeply emotional, but for books, readers can maybe easily to read it past, while film we can escape that scene because of the deliberate short silence or close-up. It forces audiences to feel the pain. That's why books present emotion as an option, but films make it unavoidable, and therefore lead to the impact that the experience of watching films is more consistent and thorough. We can get the plot and emotions in a more complete way than books. Lastly, a thing that books can never do, but films can, is that they amplify emotions through music. While books are silent, words alone cannot create an instant emotional response. While films use music sound to heighten emotion. For example, a single note from piano, rising orchestral swell can make the weight of the moment become stronger, and watchers can remember that scene. So films make emotions physical, but books only describe them. In conclusion, films give us a better experience because while book only tells us what a character feels, films make us feel it, and books only allow emotion to be imagined. Films ensure that it is experienced. That's why film adaptations are more emotional, powerful than original books. For all the reasons above, I'm proud to propose.
I partially agree with the opinion of the agreed team, but I don't believe that silence is also an emotion. So, in silence and text, that could give you time to think and to think about what's going on in the text and in the story. So that's all of my opinion about the opposing teams, and about another opinion, that is, in books there are texts that about the characteristics, like about the hair color or the skin color, while the stories in the storytelling in the films and movies, it cannot visualize all of the characteristics that you that it ruins the vibes of the characters. And also, books are more detailed than films.
I feel why the books improve the characteristics of why the films improve the characteristics.
Films wrote the characteristics of the characters because there are some appearances of the characters that could be visualized in the film, in these books, but while in the film, it cannot be visualized that much because there are not much people who have the same appearances as the characters in the book or in the book. same as the personality in the book, because I think that in the book they visualize her more detailed, and she and move on to the next opinion. I also think that writing books would help your writing, and in films, yes, it helps even the acting. But I think that in books and in texts, people can have some places of silence to think and to have a look for what is going on, and yes, it also has music and some kind of pleasure things, but I truly think that it's better to write original books than transform it to the final publication. All praise be to
And guys, be quiet. Thank you. You can start when you're ready.
I will be receiving POIs verbally, and I would like to start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Greetings, judges, audience, and fellow debaters. I am the third speaker of the affirmative team, and I would like to start my speech with a rebuttal to the opposing team. First of all, the opposing team has mentioned time and time again how books cannot give the same experience as watching films because due to many reasons such as not the same style the author has given. Well, I believe that I believe that both the books and the films are based on the same plots that the author has written, and it can still have the same important qualities, morals, and lessons that was remained in the original book, as well as there are some examples of the original author of the books being involved in creating films, which means that the styles can still be hidden, the styles can still remain in the films and not lose its qualities, such as a series called Percy Jackson and Oblivious, where the main author Rick Riordan has taken part in the casting, the directing, and they have been willing to make changes, which is onto my second point about the characters. Yes.
You said that most authors join in to make movies, but a lot of the time, author personality is through his word of choices in the book instead. So that's why how is that better? Because a lot of personality is how they
Yes, well, I would like to say that first, I didn't say most authors, but I would like to mention. But I can think that if we're talking about the personality of the characters, you can see that the characters, of course, if they're acting, they will still have to have the same qualities as the book characters in the book, not just stray away from the plot completely. And I'd like to go back onto my point. That is, secondly, that the fact that they are changing characters may change the plot. And like I said in the example, the author of the book has purposefully changed the characters because he cares more about the characters, the actors being on point with the characters rather than having just the same looks and outside qualities. And I think it's a thing that we are willing to pay for great characters. Now, thirdly, the opposing team has mentioned how people can view books many ways and perceive it in different ways, whereas with the film, people of course can perceive it in a different way. Well, this is untrue because these people are both reading and seeing the same plot, the same characters, and when the thing that is important here is not the fact that the words and the ways of consuming this content is different, but it's rather the emotional perception of the audience and the viewer. When a person with bad perceiving emotional skills, they would still perceive it as bad, whether it's in book or films. And I actually believe that if everyone starts at the same place with the scenes perception, they can have better perception of the emotions, whereas in the books they can be even worse. Now, onto my next point is that books give them time to imagine, and films does not. Well, this is very simple. You can just pause the movie and think about it. Next, that they can see that. Yeah, I think that I would like to move on to my summary of the team. During this debate, our team has managed to mention how with film adaptations they can reach a wider audience, increasing in popularity, allowing the feelings, meaning, morals to be spread everywhere, with a strong basis for the emotions to build on. Whereas with the opposing team, they say that the films can be bad, but they have not exactly mentioned how their point is better. I believe that all in all, our team has created a better environment for people to read the books in short time, see the films, and as well as being the same as reading the book in a short time, having a deeper meaning. Whereas the opposing team cannot do that. Nice speeches here. Stand with us, the affirmative team. Thank you.
Okay, you can start when you're ready.
I want to start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I want to start my speech by saying that I don't agree with the other team idea on changing the characters' looks, might not change their personalities, because we all know that HBO Go is letting on a new Harry Potter series all by their own, and they're gonna change Sirius Black looks. A lot of parents have been suspecting this because they changed the race of Snape from pale skin to black skin, although it didn't change the personalities along with the tropes. But they disagree with this because Snape has been a very important character to the whole series, and just by changing the look, a lot of parents have lost the feeling that this is the same character. Also, they said that the perspective characters in the book and in the movie will still stay the same. I also disagree with this because Draco Malfoy in the film, in the book, was a bullier, and he should stay as a bullier. That's just the wrong actions. But on film, Tom Felton adds the charm to this character, which makes people watch his actions and saying that it's explainable. Yes, please.
Well, it's said that Draco Malfoy has been mischaracterized, but I think it's the fans who mischaracterize Draco Malfoy, and Draco Malfoy is still a mean bully even in the films. What do you think about this?
Yes, I agree with your opinion that he is still a bully in the films, but this is about the audience point of view. Although in the books, the audience sees him as a bad person, but on films, on screen, they will see him as a he is some charming prince, although he's still a bully. And I also disagree with the fact that they said about posing the film in the middle. So what do you think about that? Although in the books they didn't pose the book because they can't, and they think about that part. But in films, 99% of the people didn't pose it in the middle to think about what the action just happened. They'll just let it slide and then think about it all later after watching the film.
Are you sure that people are not noticing? That's unclear.
I didn't think, but I researched this, that most people didn't stop in the middle. Maybe I think a large percent of the people in this entire room didn't stop in the middle of the film to see if this character did something wrong or is it mismatching against the book. And that's why I think that the book is better in our team opinion. Thank you for listening.
From the opposing team, and throughout this debate, I think we have proven our points that even though the films are undeniably incredible, and they also pack a lot of emotions. However, it will not ever really rival to the books, the original books, how the author wrote it, how they speak. The films will never actually quite capture the whole nostalgia and the feelings of the book itself. And a lot of the times, they say that the opposing team said that watching the films would mean that would bring the audience also to the book itself. But I think that most people watch the film, since the film is already like a short version of the book itself. And throughout the debate, we have proven that, and throughout the debate, I think that we had proven some of the points of the other team that are not quite correct. Like they say, like a lot of the points that we think are correct, and I think we have proven it quite well. And yeah, that's it. I don't really know what else to say. So applaud, please.
Starting in 3, 2, 1. Honorable judges, audiences, and members of the opposing team, I stand before you today proudly as the proposition's reply speaker to end this debate once and for all. So let's revisit the key arguments that we presented. Firstly, our first speaker argued that film adaptations reach a wider audience and has proven that it benefits everybody involved and allow opportunities for the author, which is also a very important stakeholder. And the first speaker of the opposition team has not clearly rebutted to this, to our point, and barely any direct response. Secondly, we have argued that watching films give a better experience and make us feel the emotions more, and it can be shown better, giving the audience a more immersive experience compared to books. And once again, the opposing side has not been able to rebut to this point, and all their rebuttals didn't stand. Their first point is that films cannot express the full emotions of the character, and the humor of the author cannot be displayed. And our second speaker have responded accordingly with the point of the author being involved in the film production, and the visual images helps with it. And their second speaker have argued that the appearances of the character in the film cannot be expressed and characterized as detailed as it did in the books. And our third speaker has responded accordingly to this point that appearances don't really matter. The first clash is about the plot. The plot stays the same as the film and the book. And the second main clash is the character, which we both argue about emotions and the appearances, which are unclear and not as important as the plot. And the opposing team has also made a lot of assumptions along the way. And on this basis, we're proud to propose.
Nghe một số bạn là chắc không biết dưới kia có nghe được hay không. Ở đây có rất là nhiều những cái ví dụ mà các bạn có thể học được về style, về content, về teamwork, ba yếu tố các bạn sẽ được chấm trong cái trận tranh biện của các bạn. Thứ nhất là về style, các bạn phải nói to, đúng không ạ? Ở đây tất cả các bạn đều nói ở mức gọi là trung bình trở lên, đều nói khá là đủ, vừa nghe đủ. Nếu mà nói to hơn được nữa thì tốt. Đây cái thứ nhất. Cái thứ hai, các bạn có eye contact, có cái giao tiếp mắt. Tuy nhiên nó một số thì vẫn chưa đủ, vì các bạn vẫn còn đang phụ thuộc quá nhiều vào cái tờ giấy của mình. Nhưng các bạn đều có một cái hand gesture và một cái posture rất là tốt về việc là các bạn có cái ngôn ngữ cơ thể. Các bạn không bị gọi là nói quá nhanh, hay là nói quá chậm, hay là bị ậm ừ. Cái lượt nói cuối cùng của bạn người thứ ba, biện luận phản đối ấy, đấy là một lượt nói được gọi là về style rất là tốt, rất là professional. Bởi vì khi các bạn nói á, nó rất là từ tốn, nhẹ nhàng, chậm. Mặc dù đặt bên đội ủng hộ đặt rất là nhiều câu hỏi, nhưng mà không hề cảm thấy gọi là nervous, đúng không? Thì đấy là một cái mà các bạn cần phải học về style. Về POI, các bạn đã biết cách đặt POI, đã biết cách trả lời POI. Trong cái trường hợp mà mình không biết, mình ném cho những người đối phương của mình, teammate của mình thế thôi, đơn giản thôi. Nhưng nên đưa POI rõ ràng trong vòng 15 giây. và hầu như hôm nay chưa thấy có ai deny POI cả. Đấy là một trong những cái tín hiệu tốt của các bạn. Không nên deny POI nhiều quá. Rồi, về nhận xét các phần này, đây chỉ là nhận xét cá nhân. Chính các bạn cũng sẽ có cái nhận xét riêng của mình. Về nhận xét, người một của cả hai đội các bạn đều đã làm được rất là tốt trong cái quá trình là các bạn có cái cấu trúc rất là rõ ràng về định nghĩa này, về hiện nay trông như thế nào này. Bên đội ủng hộ thì các bạn bảo rằng là hiện nay technology đang advance, có rất là nhiều thứ mà mình có thể xem được, đúng không ạ? Bên đội phản đối các bạn bảo là bởi vì technology nó phát triển như thế, tuy nhiên nó cũng sẽ có rất là nhiều những cái khó khăn. Ví dụ ra như các bạn sẽ phải sử dụng CGI, đúng không ạ? Nếu mà mình được mình sẽ phải giải thích là CGI là cái gì. Chứ đừng nói với CGI không ai hiểu CGI là gì. Rồi, that's not common sense. That's not common sense. Tóm gọn này là trong bài nói của mình, từ chưa? Trong bài nói của mình có bất cứ một thuật ngữ nào mới mình đều phải đưa ra giải thích. Các bạn cần phải có phản biện thêm nữa. Ví dụ như người một cần phải có phản biện cho bên người một của bên đội ủng hộ. Liệu các bạn có đồng ý với những cái vấn đề là khi mà chuyển thể thành phim thì sẽ có nhiều người xem được hơn hay không? Đó, hoặc là sẽ có nhiều những cái thu hút hơn, hoặc là các bạn ấy bảo rằng là phim trong thời gian rất là ngắn, còn chuyện thì rất là phải dài, thì điều đấy nó có vấn đề gì hay không? Đó, có những cái point của bên đội phản đối các bạn làm cũng rất là tốt, ví dụ như là có thể đưa cho những người đọc một cái immersive experience hơn, đúng không? Hoặc là nói nhiều hơn về việc là mô tả thế nào để cho mọi người hiểu nhân vật, cái tuyến nhân vật. Nếu như mà được á, nếu như mà được mình sẽ cố gắng giải thích ra là không chỉ đọc những cái nội dung mà người ta còn đọc cả cái suy nghĩ, những cái hành động để mình có thể hiểu nhân vật đấy hơn, đúng không? Còn phim thì làm sao? Nó lược bỏ đi, bởi vì cái tính ngắn gọn của nó trong vòng 2 đến 3 tiếng. Thế nên là nó không thể làm mô tả được hết tất cả những chi tiết, đôi khi nó có thể lược bỏ đi để làm sao phù hợp với cái thời gian thôi, đúng không? Thế nên mình cố gắng mình giải thích thêm những cái nội dung là chuyện như thế thì phim như thế nào. Đấy là lý do tại sao mình sẽ phải so sánh với những cái đề yêu cầu các bạn phải so sánh như cái đề như thế này. Quay lại về team sport và individual sport, các bạn cũng sẽ cần phải so sánh. Khi các bạn nói team sport tốt thì các bạn sẽ phải nói là tại sao individual sport không tốt về cái mặt đấy, được chưa? Luôn luôn phải có cái sự so sánh. Người nói thứ hai, các bạn đều đã đưa ra những cái lập luận. Nếu mà được hơn nữa mình cố gắng hạn chế, đừng nói quá nhiều hoặc đi sâu quá nhiều vào example evidence, mà hãy phân tích nó ra, chưa? Phân tích nó ra, ví dụ như là có phải phim nào cũng được như Harry Potter người ta sẽ thay đổi nhân vật không? Không phải lúc nào cũng vậy, đúng không? Để mà tìm kiếm được những cái nhân vật mà nó giống y chỉ như trong chuyện nó rất khó. Đấy là lý do tại sao cái trường hợp mà chuyển thể thành phim, các nhân vật không cần phải thay đổi về màu da, vẫn tương đồng, nhưng tại sao mà người ta vẫn sẽ cảm thấy nó chưa đúng với cái imagination của họ? Thì tại sao cái điều đấy nó tạo ra rất là nhiều confusing, nó tạo ra rất là nhiều frustration, đúng không? Mình cần phải nói nó rõ ràng. Đó. At the same time, đội bên kia các bạn có thể nói gì về imagination? Bởi vì mọi người đặt quá nhiều những cái imagination vào, thế nên là sao? Nó rất là khó cho phim để có thể tìm ra được những cái nhân vật. Tuy nhiên họ không quá tập trung vào cái appearance, cái ngoại hình, mà người ta sẽ tập trung vào cái cách mà họ thể hiện. Liệu cái emotion, những cái feeling của nó được truyền tải hay không? chưa? Và đến cuối cái phần người ba cố gắng mình đưa ra tóm tắt, summarize nữa. Đội mình đã nói những gì rồi? First speaker, second speaker, third speaker đưa ra, không chỉ dừng lại ở phần phản biện, which is really good, Rồi hầu như mọi người đang gặp gọi là hơi bị băn khoăn về việc là reply speech sẽ nói gì. Thông thường cái lượt reply speech sẽ là lượt cuối cùng, không đưa ra phản hồi mới, không đưa ra nội dung mới. Ví dụ như cái việc mà mình mô tả ra rằng là có cái trường hợp này, trường hợp kia mình đưa ra thì nó là nội dung mới. Tuy nhiên nếu như các bạn có một cơ hội cuối cùng để thuyết phục giám khảo rằng là đội của các bạn thắng, các bạn sẽ nói cái gì? Chỉ cần đơn giản nói thế thôi. Còn nếu như mà những các bạn nào mà experienced debater hơn á, thì các bạn sẽ nói cái clash. Ở trong trường hợp này không chỉ có người thứ ba mà cái người cuối cùng. Tại sao cái clash này là cái clash quan trọng nhất? Tại sao cái xung đột này trong trận tranh biện là cái xung đột mà mình cần tập trung vào, chứ không phải là cứ follow cái style của tác giả, hay là chỉ luôn luôn nhất đến cái việc bảo vệ cái original spot, đúng không? Đó thì mình sẽ phải là mình có sẵn sàng đánh đổi điều này để nhận được cái điều kiện không? Ví dụ mình sẵn sàng đánh đổi một số những cái chi tiết nhỏ để có thể tiếp cận được nhiều đến với khán giả hơn. Mình sẵn sàng bỏ đi khoảng tầm 1 tháng để ngồi đọc truyện, thay vì việc mình vào một cái rạp phim xem trong vòng 3 tiếng. Lúc đấy mình có thể gọi là dừng một phim trong vòng trong khoảng thời gian mình xem rạp không? Đúng không? Đấy sẽ là một số những cái mà các bạn cần lưu ý để làm sao cái bài nói mình tốt hơn.